So, hey everybody. Well, haven't done a video terribly recently, but here's one right now for you. Anyway, got a DVD update to do. Shouldn't take too long. It's just these few right here. It's like four of them. So anyway, they're all TV shows actually, and I guess I'll do these in alphabetical order that I've bought. All of these I picked up over the past maybe month and a half. So anyway, first up is season one of A Pup Named ScoobyDoo. Uh, I actually had bought the entire series of this, but I had to end up returning seasons two, three, and four, which for some reason are all on are in a single DVD case. Not like an individual one like the first season for some reason. But yeah, Pup Named ScoobyDoo. This was always like my favorite Scooby Doo, incarnation. I used to love the show as a kid. This is at one point this was one of the shows I used to look forward to on Saturday mornings. Back in the day. But yeah, Pup Named ScoobyDoo. Next up, is a show called Bump in the Night, which I don't know if to me it's one of those shows I've never really have seen anyone talk about it. And I always wonder, does anyone remember the show? um, the Bump in the Night is like it was like this claymation stop motion show that aired in the mid 90s. Where like the main character is like this green little monster that lives under this kid's bed, and his best friend is like this blue ectoplasm looking stuff or whatever, protoplasm that lives in the toilet, lives in the bathroom. And their other best friend is this rag doll named Molly Coddles. Yeah. You know what's weird though is it's so weird for me in this show because I remember watching the show back in the mid 90s. I distinctly remember watching it. I remember the characters. I remember enjoying it. But it's so weird because, like, watching this now, I didn't remember a single episode. Like, not even vaguely. I'm like, how did that happen? It's so weird because I didn't remember a single episode at all. That was just so weird to me. But next up is a show as a complete series of Ozzy and Drix. Of course, this was based on the movie Osmosis Jones, and this came out about a year after the movie did. And funny enough, I mean, I've said this before how it's so funny to me that I actually saw this well before I ever saw the movie. But yeah, pretty much though in this, Ozzy and Drix get accidentally transferred from the body of or the city of Frank to a 13-year-old kid named Hector, and basically the whole show takes place within like his body. As far well, not the entire show, but I mean there's like a couple there's shots and scenes where it's like the kid and his family and such. But pretty much like if you've seen the movie, it's just like that, except it's all animated. Um, yeah, I mean, I used to think this was meant to be continually known from the movie, but watching it now, and the more I think about it, I don't think it was meant to be connected to the movie. Kind of like I kind of feel like they were meant to be like the movie and the TV show were meant to be like their own thing. Completely separate from each other. Kind of like the real Ghostbusters to Ghostbusters, basically. Um, and I'm going to say something here that I'm going to kind of leave this a bit vague, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that, just for. I'm just not, but another character on this show, another human character named that pops up sometimes named Christine. And throughout the show, it's pretty obvious that Hector and Christine like each other. I mean, it's like almost blatantly obvious. And I've kind of half joked over the years that they kind of like the two characters sort of kind of remind me of a girl that I knew in high school that I met when I was in high school. That this girl, it's like I knew she liked me. She blatantly was into me, and I wanted to ask her out, but it was just things happened, and it was a complicated situation for me. I don't really know how to describe it without it making it sound worse than it was, I guess. But it was like it just reminds me of me and her and this girl in high school. Like I said, I don't want to name names because I mean it was a long time ago. Number one, and it's yeah, it just reminds me of us in high school. Is what I'm saying. I better just leave it at that. Just a fun little anecdote there. That the show made me think of. But finally, though, the final show that I have to show at the moment, unlike the other three, unlike the last two, I guess, it's just a single season, so the complete series. That is season 2 of Rugrats. Of course, I bought season 1 a couple of months back, but yeah, this is another show that I was into as a kid. Of course, this was like one of Nickelodeon's longest running shows and probably one of their most well known shows, I would say. But yeah, season 2 of Rugrats. This is, of course, the original version, not the recent reboot, which to be honest with you, I don't really have any particular interest in, but I just don't. I hear people kind of. I've heard my share of issues with the show from people, but that is another story, though. Yeah, season 2 of Rugrats. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just these 4 titles. So anyway, yeah, I'm filming this on on a new device actually. It's a HD webcam that I bought recently. I was eager to try it out, so I'm interested in seeing how this video looks when I finish. Which I bought it for a reason, which I'm not going to get into right now. But anyway, that said, well, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.